Well, Robert, you're a tad unusual in that you're a staunch advocate for precious metals, gold and silver, as well as Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now, although many are coming around to holding both, in December, you called that Bitcoin will hit 50K in early 2021, and you were correct. Okay, so now that Bitcoin has hit a record high of over 61K and is now in the high 50K range, is it too late to get into Bitcoin? Where do you see it going?
Bitcoin will adapt. It's very similar to Amazon. Amazon adapted. It could morph. It could change as new .coms came online. It could absorb them. Bitcoin will eat them alive. So I don't know if that's true or not, but being an old guy, I got to trust the young guys. That's all I'm saying. And I may buy some again today or tomorrow just because I'm more bullish on it. But I'm not bullish on gold, silver, or Bitcoin. I'm just bearish on Biden and his communist gang. That's what I don't like.
Because you said you're projecting Bitcoin to be worth over $1 million in about 5 years' time. Is that what you said?
Yes.
And why?
But for years and years and years, I've been saying buy silver, buy gold, because that's real money, not ETFs, real gold, real silver, and keep it in safes far away from your house.
Robert Kiyosaki with a Bitcoin price prediction of $1 million. In this video, Robert Kiyosaki, who you might know as Rich Dad, gives us his Bitcoin price prediction and tells us although he thinks it will hit $1 million, he prefers a different type of investment. Robert Kiyosaki is extremely interesting to analyze his interviews, as despite his age, Kiyosaki is a huge Bitcoin bull and is doing as much research and analysis as he can on other cryptocurrency assets. The same cannot be said of other investors the same age, such as Warren Buffett, Ray Dalio, or Charlie Munger. Make sure to stick around to the end of the video where Robert Kiyosaki speaks on other types of cryptocurrencies he is investing in, and we go over 3 pieces of on-chain Bitcoin data and behavioral analysis that suggests where the Bitcoin price is likely to go from here. Also, a growing number of cryptocurrency investors are subscribing to the channel. If you enjoy the video, consider subscribing. It's free and you can always change your mind. Enjoy the video.
Okay, so now that Bitcoin has hit a record high of over 61K and is now in the high 50K range, is it too late to get into Bitcoin? Where do you see it going?
That's a very good question, because it's always the entry point. Like, I bought Bitcoin at 9,000 and I thought I was being fleeced. But the reason I bought it at 9 was because COVID shut down the world economy. So I thought it was when they started printing, so I bought Bitcoin at 9. I wish I'd bought it at 10 cents, like a lot of people did. But now I look like a genius, because today it's around 55,000. This is April 2021. And I think it's going to go to 1.2 million in 5 more years. So I'm still advocating it all. I prefer gold and silver. I do, because Bitcoin is still untested. But I have the wherewithal to withstand the hit if it goes down. But gold and silver are God's money. I know, because I've traveled the world looking for this stuff. And I've been in the Andes, I've been in Mongolia, been in Argentina. I was just in Park City, which is a silver mining place. So I'm very much in favor of gold and silver, because it's God's money. God put it here. I'm not really religious, but I'm saying God put it here. And then now with AOC and a Green New Deal, silver is going to be used more and more for the environmental. So silver is an industrial metal, but like, the thing that really is strange is I can't buy it at retail. So I go to, a coin dealer, and I just test them and say, have you got any silver? I said, yeah, in about 6 months. Why is the price not higher then? That's what I don't understand.
Okay, let's focus on silver, but I certainly want to circle back to your Bitcoin projection. What do you think is going on with silver? Because you've indicated several times on this program, as well as on your own podcasts, that you suspect that there is some kind of manipulation in the silver market, driven perhaps by the fact that so many of the world's biggest corporations need it for their products, particularly in the tech sector. So expand on that a little bit for us, if you will.
Well, I think the big thing is, for batteries right now. And, there's Tesla, there's Sony, all the tech companies use silver. And they can't find. Another thing, too, which is a little bit too technical, is many of the silver mines are in hostile territory. They don't like us. I know because I've been to their countries looking for silver. So silver is getting rarer and rarer and rarer and more demand. Whereas, I have my gold watch, but, you don't use it that much. It's just gold. But silver is burned up all the time. It's used in medicine, it's used in everything, water purification. So that's why for the last, I think, 15, 20 years, I've been very bullish on silver, and then I couldn't get it. So the other day I called my local dealer up and I said, have you got it? He says, you won't believe this. I got X amount. I said, I'll take it. I paid nearly $30 for it. I've never paid that much for silver, but I'm that bullish on it that I want to get as much as I can now before it moves again. So that's just my psychosis. I'm not saying I'm right. I just love silver. I love gold. I've been all over the world looking for it. I believe in Gresham's law. Bad money drives out good money. And this guy Biden, I'm not blaming Biden, please get me, I'm not Republican or Democrat. I'm just saying that the system is forcing all of us to become gold and silver and possibly crypto buyers right now.
All right, well, let's hit back on that crypto point, because you said you're projecting Bitcoin to be worth over $1 million in about 5 years' time. Is that what you said?
Yes.
And why? Why do you think that? And why do you not think that the government may intervene in one form or another?
Well, I think they'll try. But the problem is too big, Michelle. Our pensions are going bust. Baby boomers have no money. They shut down the economy. Biden's going to print another 1.9 trillion. So it has never worked. It's Gresham's law. Bad money drives out good money. So when a guy like me gets my hand on a Bitcoin, I'll never spend it. And when I have gold and silver, I've only spent a little bit of my gold. I've never sold it. I'd rather save it. So when I need money, because I'm a real estate guy like Trump, I borrow money. So when interest rates drop really, really low, like they are now, under 4%, I'll borrow millions of dollars because it's fake money. And I'll spend fake money, but I save gold, silver, and today some Bitcoin. Bitcoin is untested yet, but that's why I was happy to get some at 9,000. And I may buy some again today or tomorrow just because I'm more bullish on it. But I'm not bullish on gold, silver, or Bitcoin. I'm just bearish on Biden and his communist gang. That's what I don't like.
You're seeing crypto, gold, and silver really then as a way to safeguard against dollar devaluation.
Yeah, I don't trust the academic elite. That's called Bernanke and Yellen, and now we have Powell. These guys are communists. They print money. They're central bankers. I really don't like how they screw everybody. It makes me rich because all the CEOs take all this fake money and they drive up the stock price. But the working class guy is getting screwed. The person working for money, trying to pay the rent, they can't afford to buy a house. They don't buy stocks. They're just surviving day to day, and the price of food keeps going up and all this. That's what happens when you print money. That's what brought Hitler to power. After 1918, when the Weimar Republic started printing all this fake money. You saw it in Zimbabwe. It's happening in Venezuela. And they screw the poor. It makes me sad. Why don't we, I've always said, why don't we have financial education in school? Just teach them Gresham's law. Bad money drives out good money. Yet our school teachers, those idiots, teach kids to save money. You got to be crazy. Just tell kids to save silver. They'd be a lot better off.
Well, that certainly has worked for you, Robert. So you say gold, silver, Bitcoin are really all ways to protect against the dollar devaluation. But Bitcoin is not the only crypto that you like. You also like Ethereum. Why do you like Ethereum? Do you see institutional investors getting into Ethereum as well as you correctly called that they would be getting into Bitcoin?
No, it's Michelle. I'm an old guy, you know. Trump and I are the same age. And I hang out with young guys and I ask them questions about Bitcoin and Ethereum. And there's so many different crypto. The reason I say Bitcoin is untested, because it is untested. It's only been around since about 2009 or something. So that's why I'm very cautious with it. The same as all the other altcoins. And I think altcoins are here to stay, but I don't know which one will survive. Remember, I don't know, you're too young. When Amazon came out, so did pets.com. And people were buying pets.com and pets.com disappeared and Amazon became the behemoth of the world. So I didn't know anything about .com and I don't know anything about crypto. So I talked to the young guys who are in it every single day and they kind of filled me up. So they told me to buy. I interviewed this guy, Robert Breedlove. He's a CPA plus a finance guy from Wall Street and all this. And he is probably the most knowledgeable on Bitcoin in my personal experience. And he is the one who's saying it's 1.2 million. So of all the people, I trust him. Then I asked him, I said, what happens if somebody, you know, like let's say you and I start our own coffee Bitcoin? He says, the beauty of Bitcoin is it adapts. So if this coffee Bitcoin starts kicking Bitcoin's butt, the Bitcoin will adapt. It's very similar to Amazon. Amazon adapted. It could morph. It could change as new .coms came online. It could absorb them. So that's why social media is so strong today. Once they got a foothold, they could take over any competitor they had. So the cryptocurrencies, everybody's into cryptocurrency. Every young guy's trying to start their own Bitcoin now. But what this guy, Robert Breedlove, was telling me, Bitcoin will eat them alive. So I don't know if that's true or not, but being an old guy, I got to trust the young guys. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, well, we're certainly not ageists here at Kitco News, so no need to reference that as any kind of qualifier or disqualifier. But Robert, one of the reasons that you thought Bitcoin was going to go higher, and you called it correctly, was because you saw that there would be institutional investors getting into Bitcoin. Do you think that we're going to see a similar trend with institutional investors getting into Ethereum?
Possibly. I mean, you're really asking the wrong. I'm pretty good, Michelle. I'm pretty good with gold and silver. I've been all over the world. You know, I was in Mongolia, I was in the Andes, I was in Argentina. I love the stuff. I love gold and silver. Like I said, I was just in Park City. I wanted to see the mining museum there. You know, I'm a old guy miner. I like it. And I can see, touch, and feel it. I own lots of gold and silver. I have no ETFs, zero. I have some mining shares, but I don't trust paper. I don't trust Wall Street, and I don't trust my government. That's why.
So there's Kiyosaki with a $1 million Bitcoin price prediction over the next 5 years. If you're a Bitcoin holder, let's hope he is correct again as he was with his $50,000 prediction. Now, for 3 pieces of on-chain Bitcoin data that suggests where the Bitcoin price is likely to go from here. First up, out from Lex Moskovsky, we have some data about Bitcoin miners and their net position change. So from this graph, we can see the relationship between Bitcoin miners and if they are selling or accumulating the Bitcoin they are mining. From here, we can see a clear trend from miners selling off Bitcoin in January and early February to now accumulating Bitcoin being mined. This is great bullish data to see, as not only does it show Bitcoin miners are expecting the price to go upwards, but also they are removing supply from the market, pushing the price upwards. Next up, out from on-chain Bitcoin analyst Willy Woo, we have the Bitcoin supply profile. Although this data is somewhat confusing, essentially what it is showing is a time-lapse of when coins last moved at different price points. For example, 2 large clusters that a lot of coins that were moved was at 55,000 and 47,000. Willy Woo off this data is modeling 46.4 thousand as a price level we will never visit again. Interesting analytics out from Willy Woo. Finally, we have some Bitcoin behavioral analysis out from Sentiment, and what we can see from this data is that social sentiment by users online is at a 12-month low, with the extreme skepticism at the moment if we will go over $60,000 again in the near future. The good news about this is that historically, this level of extreme skepticism is extremely bullish for the underlying cryptocurrency. An example of this is that the last time I showed this data for Ethereum, it hit a 6-month low of user sentiment and it went on to hit an all-time high less than 48 hours later. You know what they say, be greedy when others are fearful. Let me know what you guys think of all this data in the comments. Drop a like on the video if you made it to the end. I'll see you guys in the next video, and as always, have a great day.